Today we have Halyna, Natalia with us to wake up our core, to excite that part of the body that is probably implied in much of this discussion. This is Halyna.
Hello, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank you, Moses, and this wonderful audience for having me here in the show as part of the show, and it's such an honor to me to be presenting amongst so many incredibly inspirational and intelligent people here. So thank you once again for that. And so we're about to change the mood in here for a little bit. We heard all about the decline of males and the marriage and the issues, and so here we're just gonna sort of take a little breather, take a little break, and I'm just gonna tell you a little bit about what's gonna happen here. So my name is Halyna, and I'm the creator of a fitness program by the name of Kama Aerobics. Yes, Kama like Kama Sutra, but aerobics. But don't jump to conclusions before you allow me to explain based on the name alone. Kama Aerobics, really, it's a Hindu god of love and fertility. And the word Kama literally translates to sensual or sexual. And Kama Aerobics, aerobics on the other hand is a science of body movement and flexibility and getting into your best physical shape that you can possibly be. And by combining the two together, we get into an amazing physical shape and into a great sexual shape. Okay, so basically gets your blood pumping in more ways than just one. If you if you think about it, the last 10 years have been an explosion in the in the male targeted sexual enhancement products, whether it's about adding inches or about enhancing your sexual performance. The market of and sales of Levitra and Cialis and Viagra and things like that have been something like $2 billion in 1 year. But if you think about it, us women, we're sort of being left in a shadow, and our sexuality and whether we're enjoying sex equally has sort of not been giving as much attention. So Kama Aerobics sort of touches that subject, but in a more, unlike the male virility pills, in a more natural, all-natural way, by sort of just connecting with our body, learning to accept our bodies, learning to love our bodies, and just sort of enjoying that movement and moving our hips, and specifically targeting our pelvic floor region responsible for childbirth, fertility, and sexual pleasure. So that sort of sends the blood down there, which induces the same effect as male virility pills. Okay, so just before we get started, and we're absolutely going to get to try some of these exercises here today, before we do, here's just a little clip to give you a brief intro of what the workout's all about. Is a new program that's sort of revolutionary in fitness. It's a combination of yoga, Pilates, and sensual dance. The whole empowerment of this workout starts from targeting your sexual core, which is a group of muscles known as the pelvic floor. It's the center of our pleasure. It's the part where we carry our children, and that's what makes you a woman. It's a great way to first tone your most problem areas, starting with the hips, the buns, the legs, the tummy, as well as the upper core. The upper core meaning when you do the work, you sort of always try and keep those chest and shoulder muscles flexed by keeping your hands in a prayer, and that way your whole entire body is flexed, and the whole entire body is working out simultaneously. So apart from tightening up your most problem areas and learning to let go and let loose, it also helps you with such thing as balance, coordination, and ability to focus.
I have to admit, I was a little reluctant to try a class. I was a little bit shy. I didn't totally understand it, but I'm very open-minded, and I thought, why not try a class? 1 out of every 3 women has some pelvic floor dysfunction, and it's a taboo subject that we often don't talk about, but that really needs to be touched on. It affects our sexuality, it affects our longevity, it affects our wellness, our well-being, and it's something we all think about but are afraid to voice. So when I found out that Halyna was talking about the pelvic core and embracing our sexual core, embracing our sexuality, feeling sexy, feeling alive, I loved it because it really tied in with the focus of my practice, which is all about preventative medicine.
The difference with this class over, say, a yoga or Pilates class, and if people thinking about maybe coming but they're a bit nervous about it, is that it does give you that little time in the week, because we're so busy. It's like that 1 hour in the week that you can come and just sort of let that little sexiness out, or just relax a little bit and just let your mind go other places for that hour. And the instructor, Halyna, does an amazing job helping you do that. She really emulates the whole philosophy behind the class, so it doesn't really feel like it's another trend.
So here it is. As you can see, it's rather sensual in nature with lots of hip action. But it's actually really fun to exercise that way. And as you may not think it, but it's actually super effective. And it helps to tone you like crazy. So just before we do the exercises, please allow me to welcome on stage my partner, Dr. Melissa Hirschberg from the Toronto Clinic. She is also a fitness expert and a published author of 2 diet books, The Hirschberg Diet and The Rebel Diet. Welcome, Melissa.
Thanks, Halyna. So it's true, I'm a physician and I've written diet books, and yes, I'm a little embarrassed and shy to be up here today talking about our libidos, orgasms, feeling aroused, but I shouldn't be, and none of us should be, because sex, being sensual, being connected, being comfortable in our skin is important. So many studies show that having a sensual experience, feeling comfortable with ourselves, it releases powerful hormones and endorphins. A study came out in the Real Age books talking about how, the more pleasure you have, the more orgasms you have, the longer you live. So even though it's funny, it is important stuff. So let's check our inhibitions at the door and get ready to have some fun. So just by show of hands, how many people know what a Kegel exercise is? Okay, pretty good, almost 3/4 of the room. Now, how many people do Kegel exercises, male and women, or female and males in the room, regularly? Very few. Now, I might suggest this is why 52% of women have no sex life to speak of, because Kegel exercises are what we're talking about when we talk about the pelvic core. Okay, so our sexual core externally is our, female problem areas. So our hips, our thighs, our lower abdomen. But internally, our pelvic core are the muscles that contract when we have an orgasm. They're the muscles that hold our uterus in place, our bladders in place, and we have to tone them and train them. So to demonstrate some of the exercises, I'm going to bring Halyna back up, and I want everybody to stand up, and we're going to do them together. All right. So, all right, let's just shake it up, get moving, relax. All right, get your arms shaken up. Good. Okay, so Halyna's going to demonstrate.
Shoulders.
So Halyna's going to demonstrate the first exercise. This is called the hip circle. Okay, so everybody do what she's doing. And Halyna, turn to the side so they can see how you're arching your back. So what she's doing here, when she goes forward, is she's contracting her external muscles, so the glutes, the inner thighs, and the lower abdomen. But ladies, when we go forward, also do that Kegel. Contract that muscle.
Arms.
Okay, so you're contracting externally, internally. Now you're pushing your arms together. We are sending blood flow everywhere, okay? Okay, let's do another one. Now we're gonna do the hip thrust. Okay? All right, so forward and backward. And again, turn to the side and show them how it's done. Fantastic. So this is really effective, okay? And it's fun. We're laughing. We're getting our butts in shape.
And having the Zen music helps.
Yeah. And while you do it, and I encourage you to try it actually at home when you're by yourself and you don't feel intimidated, but actually do the Kegel exercises with it. It absolutely increases arousal. It's wonderful foreplay. It's easy. And it's
and
good
faster.
for us.
Let's do it a little faster. Same thing. That's it.
There you go. All right, so Halyna's going to demonstrate one of the more advanced exercises.
Don't try this one. You don't have to try this one just because there's no space. That's the only reason why.
But try this one at home.
You can try it at home when you get home.
Okay, so you can try this when you get home. So what she's doing here, this is a fantastic exercise. It may not look like it's that complex, but as you can see, it really works her quads, which is why she's in such great shape. It really works her glutes, and it really works her hips. And what she's doing on inside is what we can't see. She's really contracting her pelvic core muscles. So we're seeing how great she looks on the outside, which is important, but really it's all about what's on the inside as well. And as everybody's obsessed with aging, and as we get older and gravity takes effect, things fall down, and that's why people go to plastic surgeons for breast lifts and facelifts. But this is how we lift ourselves on the inside. So I hope that was a little bit of fun, and there you go.
Oh, wait.
Thank you so very much.
Wait.
You want to try?
Well, no, I have to report from the Tweeterverse. They're saying enough talk, how about a little
Action.
Put them through some exercise.
All right, so I guess we'll have to do a few more. So since we've been sitting for so long, let's just bring our legs a little bit wider apart. And again, we're going to do a few hip shakes. So starting from one side and to the other, just all the way to one side and to the other. That's it, you got it. Try to keep your waist in, shoulders down. As we're doing this, let's also breathe together. So deep breath through the nose and exhale through the mouth. That's it, we're becoming sort of centered and feeling the present moment. And yes, if you keep those palms nice and flexed, you're working the upper body as well. Beautiful. Now let's try to turn this into a circle. Women are going to have much easier time doing this because, we've all danced this way before, I'm sure. And so try it, and man, just sort of do your best. And that's it. Just go around in a circle and squeeze your buns while squeezing your pelvic floor at the same time. That way, you're just sort of targeting your entire center body. Okay? Beautiful. And while we're here, let's just also take a deep breath. Again, just feel centered and present. Inhale deep through the nose. Hold it. Close your eyes. Hold that breath and exhale. Drop the shoulders down and just shake those arms. This will especially help you if you have a presentation coming up because it is extremely nerve-wracking, and doing just a few of these will really help. It's been helping me. I was really nervous before coming here, and just breathing, and doing a few of these has made a huge difference.
Halyna, watching you has made a big difference for me as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And we need to start taking time out of our busy lives and, target our sexuality and sensuality and make sure that our lives are full of pleasure, fun, and happiness. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.